Hello everyone and welcome to the next video from Expand Your Skills, which is a follow-up to some previous videos I've done on preparing league tables within Excel. I will include in the comments below links to the previous videos, but one of the most common questions I'm receiving is how to rank teams in a league table based not just on goals difference, points, goals scored, but also, as has happened in the Euros which have recently finished, teams should be ranked based on their results against other teams in the league. So this is my attempt to help you with this. I'm not saying it's the best way or the quickest way or the most simple way, but it is my way and I hope it is of use and benefit. So let's get started. I've done a bit of work prior to starting here and have created a fixture list between 6 teams. Okay, where each team plays 5 games against each other. In the bold column here you've got the scores. So in the top one, Belgium have beaten England 5-4, as if. Spain 0, France 0. And then in this column, using a simple formula, it's how many points each team will get for that result. So as you can see up here, if C2 5 is greater than D2 4, that means Belgium have won, so give them 3 points. If C2 equals D2, give them 1 point. Otherwise, give them 0, because that means they've lost. And it's the opposite over here. So if Belgium score 3, England score 0. So that's fairly straightforward. On to the next tab, and this is my calculation for the league table. And again, go back to the previous videos to find how I get some of these figures. But basically, it's drawing the information from the previous spreadsheet, the fixtures, and calculating that Belgium have won 3, drawn 1, lost 1, goals scored, goals against their goal difference, and the points based on 3 points for a win. This column, then, is the number of points plus the goal difference multiplied by 0.01. And this makes sure that a team who is level on points but has a better goal difference will perform better in the league table than another team on the same number of points. So as you can see here, this isn't a good example because Belgium and England have both got the same number of points, and for and against goals are the same, so therefore they're both ranked in first position. So if we just change that slightly, so if we give Belgium 1 more goal to increase that to 6, and you can see now that Belgium's goal difference has slightly improved from 4 up to 4, and compared with England's of 2, and therefore Belgium are now ranking or have more points than England, and therefore rank higher than them. Okay, don't worry if this is confusing, it's all explained in the previous videos. And then final tab we have here is the final table, where we transfer this information. And basically here we're using index and match to find the correct position for these teams. So Belgium first, England second, Italy third. Have a problem here with 5th because we're looking for a number 5 in this table, and there isn't one because you've got 2 teams equal on 4, but we'll cover that as we move forward. So what we need in this competition is a system to rank teams based first of all on the number of points that they've achieved, secondly on goal difference, and that's what we've done so far, but then thirdly, if those 2 results are the same, then their position is based on the result between the 2, 3, however many teams it might be that are equal. Okay, so to do that, let's start off by just coming down here. This is where we're going to do the tie break. And let's just copy and paste these team names. And what we're going to try and achieve here is a results grid. So if I just get, these are just the initials of the teams: Belgium, England, France, Germany, Italy, and Spain. Let's get all that nicely centered up. And let's also just copy down the points total up from up here, so we know what we're working with. So this will be points, and we'll just do that with a simple Vlookup formula. So in here we'll go with Vlookup, and we're going to look for A12, which is, in this case, is Belgium. In this table here, so the team name to the left, the points to the right, comma, and then we're looking in column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, column 9, and false to tell that we want to have an exact match. Return, and Belgium have 10 points. Now we want to copy and paste that down, but to do that we just need to fix the table. And if we do that, there you go, copy the points down. Now the tie-break situation, let's not abbreviate, the tie-break situation is only required when teams have the same number of points. So obviously you don't need it between Belgium, you do need it between Belgium and England and Germany and Spain, but not France and Italy. So how do we work out whether or not we need to do the tie-break? And what we want to do is count how many times the number 10 appears here. So we do that with a COUNTIF. And COUNTIF. And we're going to count the numbers in here, in this range. And we're looking for B12. And that comes up with 2. Okay, now we need to lock this, the formula, and copy on down. Okay, now, so this is telling us that 10 points appears twice between because of Belgium and England, and so we need a tie break. France appears only once, they're 2 points. Germany and Spain both got 5 points, that appears twice. And Italy has 8 points, that only appears once. Now, this creates a problem straight away, in as much as we want to compare results from Belgium and England, but we don't want to compare them with Germany and Spain because their results will be compared separately. So we just need to find a way to differentiate those 2 results between Belgium and England and those 2 totals between Germany and Spain. And the way we do this is just multiply by the number of points, so by B12 in this case. And what we'll also do, just for the sake of a bit of tidiness, is -1 from that figure. And you'll see what that does. When we press return, where have we gone wrong there? I think it wants a bracket around there. Put the bracket in the wrong place, so let's get rid of that. So have a look at that formula, press return, and there we are. Then if we copy and paste down, so the results, which we don't need to compare now because we've done that -1, have gone to 0. And it's quite obvious we need to compare Belgium and England because they're the same, and Germany and Spain because they're the same amongst each other. Okay, so that's part 1. So we now know what we need to compare. How do we move on to compare them? And what we're going to do here in this box is a simple little results grid or points grid. So, for example, Belgium, they obviously won't play Belgium, so we can put an X there, X there, X there, X there, X there, and X there. And in here, we want the number of points that Belgium achieved when they played England. So here goes, and it'll be a long formula, but not particularly nasty, I don't think. So in this box, what we want is the result on the number of points that Belgium scored against England. So we're going to use the sum if, or some ifs even. And what do we want to add up? So first of all, if we go back to our fixtures here, this is a column we want up because this is add up because this is the number of points that will have been scored. And when do we want to add it up? So we want to add it up if this column is equal to Belgium, and also if this column is equal to the next team down, England. Close off the brackets. Okay, but what we also want to do is another sum ifs, and again this time we want to add up these scores depending on which way around the teams are. So if we add up these as well, oops, and exactly the same way is if this team is Belgium and if this team is the next one down, England. Close those brackets, and we're hoping we get 3 points there. Hopefully that will make sense to you. As to run over it again, though, what we're doing is we're summing, or so we're adding up that column, fixtures B2 to B16, which is where we put 0, 1, or 3 points. If the first column is equal to A12 here, which is Belgium, and the column F is equal to A13, which is England, and then the other way around, so we're adding up the points in the second column. If the first team is Belgium, the second team is England. And you'll see here I've already copy and pasted this across. I'll need to lock many of the ranges here. As you copy across, the only thing that changes is here. So on A14 is for France, A15 is for Germany, A16 for Italy, A17 for Spain. Now what we'll see here is we've got the results for all the games as we wanted, but what we didn't want, we're not worried about Belgium's result against France because they didn't finish on the same number of points. So to adjust that, right at the beginning of the formula here, we'll put in if C12 equals C13. Then do that calculation. So if these two figures are the same, we need to do that calculation. And if they're not, just at the end here, put nothing. Close off those brackets. So then we have 3 again. And if I copy and paste that along, you can see my figure here for Belgium-France score is nothing, Germany's nothing, Italy nothing, and Spain nothing as well, because we're not interested in those results. And it's saying here if C12 equals C14, which it doesn't, so just inserts the blank requested there. So I put the formula into those 5 boxes. I now just need to do the same down here in the remaining boxes. So I've done that, and now we have the complete matrix. So as you can see, England lost to Belgium, so in their column there's no points. Not interested in any of the other results. And France and Italy drew, so they both got a point, and Spain beat Germany. So they've got 3. Germany have got 0. Now that has brought up one error in my thinking, in that it has told us the result for Italy and France, which we're not interested in because they've got different number of points, but it's because it's the formula is comparing these two figures here in the tie break required, which are both at 0. So we'll sort that in the next step when we need to put in the points. So if we just do a total here now, so this would be just a total of all the points achieved in those 6 columns. So if we do a quick sum, we have 3 going down to 0, 1, 0, 1, 3. Okay, now we don't want these results to appear, the France and the Italy ones. So we'll do that by just saying, well, if this is greater than 0, or sorry, if this isn't greater than 0, we're not interested. So if we do a quick amendment here and say if, let's have a look, so it's C12 is greater than 0, then we perform the task. If it isn't, just leave it blank. Ooh, I managed to put a full stop in there somehow instead of a comma. And there we have it. So the only points now are the results between Belgium and England and Germany and Spain, which are the ones we wanted. So how do we convert that into the league table? Okay, well, in our amended points here, at the moment this is just simply equal to the I column, which is the actual number of points, and the goal difference multiplied by 0.01. What we'll add on here for Belgium is just this figure here, but we'll multiply that by a factor as well. Oops. I put the brackets around it properly, and there we go, and then just copy and paste that down. Okay, so we'll worry about the errors in a minute. So we're now multiplying, or adding together rather, the number of points, the goal difference might multiply by 0.01, and these points between the teams by 0.001, and that will have the effect of ranking the teams based on A, number of points, B, goal difference, and then C, the results amongst themselves. The reason this is throwing a wobbly is because we're trying to multiply nothing by 0.001, so we'll just amend that by saying so we'll use the if error function. Let's put the brackets around it properly. So we want it to be that, but if it can't be that, then it's I4 plus H4 times 0.01. Oops, close brackets. Oops, found an error for us. Put in another bracket. Then if I just copy that down and copy that up as well, there we have it. So you can see if we just look at Belgium and Germany now, you can see Belgium has got a slightly higher number than England by dint of the fact that they won, and same with Spain and Germany, again by the fact that they won. So here are the ranks. So if we look at now at the final table, what effect has that had? As we would wish. So Belgium above England, both on 10 points. Italy is still in third, and Spain and Germany, although everything about that would suggest their level, number of points, number of points 5, goal difference -1. Spain are ahead because they won the game against Germany. So that's worked when two teams have the same number of points, but what happens if you have 3 teams all on the same number of points? Well, let's try it. So how do we want to do this? If we want to try and bring Italy up to 10 points, we want to give them an extra 2 points and also improve their goal difference by 2. So where are Italy? So if we were to take this draw and give it to Italy by 2 goals, and then go back to the calculation table. If we look up here first of all, we now have Belgium, England and Italy all on the same score. And down here, the tiebreak required is between those 3 teams. Okay, everybody's got 3 points, so that suggests that each of those teams have won a game. So if we look at Belgium, England and Italy, so Belgium, yes, they beat England 5-4. England beat Italy 4-3. So that hopefully means that Italy beat Belgium. Yes, they did. Italy won against Belgium. So that's how all those results came out, and that has an effect on the final table of causing a problem now, because we've got 3 teams ranked in the same position. And this is where we would use the alphabet to calculate the places if we wanted to, or UEFA would need to come up with a better way of ranking the teams. And I think in reality what happens is that they use as the final check between the teams is perhaps maybe the number of red cards, yellow cards, etc. each team has had. So in actual fact, let's try that a minute. So if we just add a column down here, or maybe up here for the disciplinary score, and however they might work it out, but let's say Belgium have got a score of 3, England's score is 5, France 2, Germany 2 as well, Italy 4, Spain 1, and then in our amended points here we just added another column, or another sum, to be, okay, so K2, which is our new column, and multiply that by another factor. So we had 3 zeros before. Let's go with 5. Copy and paste that down. And you can see that now England, by dint of their better disciplinary record, are top. Italy second. Belgium third. And the other teams are unchanged. When we look at the final table, that information translates across. I hope that makes sense. Any questions, as always, just drop them in the comments below. I look forward to hearing them. Thank you, and goodbye.